Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a website. Now, you might be thinking, why would I want a website? Okay, I've been wanting to build a website for a very, very long time, but I've always just made excuses saying, oh, I don't have the money and I'd have to pay a yearly fee and I gotta go buy a domain and all these excuses. And today I decided I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna build it. It's gonna be really uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it. So why do you want a website? The reason I wanted a website is because nowadays your resume is basically on the internet. So it makes you look more official. It makes you seem like you're a professional, like you know what you're doing. You're obviously pretty good with computers, etc., etc. So that is why I wanted to build a website. I want a place to put my stuff and show, you know, the world or whatever it may be. So here's my website here. Obviously, I didn't actually go and design it yet. I just have the standard background, but there were so many steps that went into this. So I first got this idea from Ali Abdaal. Now, Ali Abdaal is a YouTuber, and he made a video on how to build a website. But he missed very key concepts in building this website. He was just like, okay, you use Ghost, a platform, to host your website, and then you buy the name on Google Domain. And I'm like, cool, easy. It was not that easy. Sorry, Ali. Maybe it's been a while since you built your website, but you had to like link the website to the platform, and it was kind of complicated. So I want to go into the details. Like, it's all great. He can tell you, you know, why you should have a website. I was inspired enough to build the website after watching that video, so it did a good job. But it didn't go into the details on how to actually do it. So that is what I'm here for. So today we're going to be talking about just that. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to ghost.org. Now, this was the site that I was told to go to, and you're going to go and create an account. So I clicked the button, get started for free. So as you can see here, I'm just going to type in my email and password and create an account. And that is the first step in this process. Obviously, I'm going to blur out the email and the password just because I don't need a bunch of emails and it's a lot of personal information to put on the internet. So then we're going to go in here. I saved my stuff on LastPass. I'll do a video on that eventually. And so I'm just going to keep typing in my name, and I'm going to put some credit card information here. Obviously, I don't want to show my credit card information. I actually got a fraud thing when I typed this in because apparently buying random things on the internet it gets a little skeptical. So they called me and I had to tell them that it's fine, it's just me playing with the internet. So typing my card details in here, and this is just me testing it out. I put myself down as a creator because I don't know what I am, so I'm just gonna do creator. I mean, why not? And then we shall continue this journey. I thought about maybe putting it as something else, but I think I'm just gonna stick to creator. And then I just put my publication name as It's Just Liz, right? Because it's just me. But there are obviously just needed something. Oops, almost spelled that wrong there. And then let's do this, right? I thought about doing one for just for myself, like my full name, but I'm like, oh, I kind of just want It's Just Liz. So anyway, so you click this button to do just started, and there's kind of like this cool little ghost thing that pops up, right? So I'm always about that. And so it's being created. I didn't really know what to expect just because I've never used Ghost and I've just heard to use it to go build your website. So I'm kind of interested to see how this all goes. And so it kind of takes a while for it to create your website, but then it'll eventually load. Come on now. And here we have it. So I don't really know what this is, so I was just kind of playing around. So it looks like there's some kind of like startup guide, and honestly there's a bit of like an information overload. Like, I don't need this much information thrown at me, but I was also in the dashboard section, so maybe that's why. But this is what it first looks like when you create your first account. I filmed this all ahead because I didn't know how complicated it would be, and I hate when people are like, oh, just create your account here. I like to see it actually happen. So that's why I wanted to show you guys what it looks like once you first create your account. And this is the first time I'm using this site, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But it looks like from here, there's just kind of a bunch of different things you can play around with. So there's different blocks and things, probably things I should read at some point when I decide to actually make it look prettier and not just default page. But it's just kind of around here, and you can see here they suggest doing 1 post a week, and there's all kinds of just little articles and things. So I decided that I'm going to upgrade to Ghost Pro. This is what Ali Abdaal suggested. So I'm going to do the starter, which is the $9 a month. I don't have that much traffic because I'm just me. So, but I wanted to choose that plan because it's the cheapest one, obviously. So I chose that one. I took a quick look at my domain really quick, but then chose, and so it says choose this plan. So I clicked that, and then it will start charging me. So up front, the cost is really cheap. So $9 a month is not bad for like a full functioning website. Now you can do stuff for free. You can use like Wix and some other services. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted something very professional, something that I could say I helped code. So the startup costs are actually not that bad together. In order to get this Ghost platform, it was like $121 or $108 here. I think I got a slightly bit of a discount. And then as you'll see later, the cost of the domains was $13 a domain, which is basically you're paying for the website name. So I'm just kind of playing around here and I'm like, this is interesting. And then here's my site, which you saw before. But this is just the standard default. I have not played around with it. I'm going to do separate videos for that. But the startup costs are like pretty cheap to start your website. So like total, it was $121 to get the domain name and Ghost. So that's actually not bad yearly. That's like a yearly cost. So if you have, I mean, you should be able to afford it if you have a full-time job or even a part-time job. I don't know, high school, that kind of stuff, it's going to take you a while to save up. That's why I never built one in high school or college, because putting together like $121 sounds very painful, very hard. I had a hard time just eating. Here I'm kind of looking at this integrations. I've heard of GitHub because I took She Codes, but I wanted to see if there was like a Notion thing, but maybe I can like, because I want you guys to see my libraries and stuff. So I really wanted to know if I could like link Notion in there, but I think there's a different way to do it because I have no idea what a Ghost integration is. Like absolutely Spotify, Instagram, like I don't know what this means. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, there's lots of different options. Personally, I've never used any of these, so we'll see maybe once I get more official here. But anyway, so this is kind of the site. You can see that they put some authors pages for me in there, but we will play around with it for a while and see how I need to get in there. So I pressed the get started or getting started thing, and it looks like they have lots of different articles. So that's my next step, is I'm going to read through this to see how do I actually like customize this in order for it to work for me. So that's kind of what I was thinking as far as customization goes. I just need to read through this. A great site to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is She Codes. That's where all the basic, I don't know how much coding is involved in this. I just know that I have the Ghost platform, and then I'll buy the domains and link them. So it looks like there's like a good amount of guidance for this site. So you can see right here, it says your guide to Ghost, and there's multiple articles. So it seems like it's not too difficult to get this up and running. Looks pretty intuitive. I know that Ali Abdaal said that this Ghost platform is mainly for people who have at least know how to use a computer pretty well. Like Wix and all that is for people who haven't really touched code and all that. And I don't think you necessarily need too much of that here. But I wanted it to be taken seriously, and I wanted to do my own code potentially and be more involved in my site rather than using like Wix or Wayfair or those other kind of those other website pages. So this is the route that I went because I was like, oh, they'll take you more seriously if you use Ghost. I'm like, sign me up. So as you can see here, there's some options: building your audience, doing memberships. I don't know. It's kind of cool. So I'm going to read through those, and then we will see where we get. And I will keep you guys on this journey of trying to build this website because I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, this is just kind of me just reading through this and showing you what it looks like inside of Ghost, like once you sign up, because I always like to see what I'm buying, right? Like I just blew $108 on this platform that I have no idea what it looks like on the inside, but it looks like they give you a lot of information. So I'm just opening up some of the tools and what it looks like, what you're going to be paying for. Now there is like a 14-day trial, so that's an option to do, but I really just wanted to go all in, which I tend to do. And so now that we have that set up, I'm going to go buy a domain. Now, Ali Abdal told me to buy, or not told me, on his little YouTube thing, he said to buy your domain on Google Domains. So this is where you can buy the name of your website. So I went in here, and this is just how I got to it. Get a new domain. I'm already logged in. As you can see on the right-hand corner, my picture's in there. So I typed in itsjustliz.com because that's the one I wanted. Now, unfortunately, that one is already registered. So I'm looking at other options, and I decided to go and look at some of the options below. Now they try to add a bunch of stuff like it's only Liz, you know, whatever. That's not what I want. I want it's just Liz. So I thought about like adding a Z at the end, like an extra Z, so it's just Liz with 2 Z's.com. So I think that's what I ended up going with, but I ended up buying 2 domains because I could not figure out what I wanted. So I bought the one with it's just Liz.com because I like the .com. I think it makes people take you seriously. So after you get that, you just put it in your little shopping cart. So as you can see on the right there, there's like this little shopping cart with a plus. So you're going to go over there. It's $12 a year. You're going to add it to your shopping cart. And then you're going to go over to your shopping cart, click that, and then bam, here you are. So I signed up, $12 for 1 year. I didn't really change any of the settings. So there was like an email option, but that's for people who have like businesses, and I don't need an email that says like itsjustliz.com. So I kind of played around with it, but I'm not going to do that. So then you go to checkout here at the bottom. So as you can see, due today, $12. Obviously, I live in Washington. Well, very close to Portland. I live in Washington though, so I do have to pay sales tax. So I think it ended up being like $13. So you're gonna go in here, you're going to type in your information correctly, hopefully. And so it's going to ask you for your name, your organization, which obviously I don't have an organization, maybe eventually, and then your address and your contact email, which you'll have to verify your email later. But that's a whole nother process. And I accidentally clicked American Samoa, so I changed that to Washington. But then you're going to press save and continue, and then you're going to review your order for the domain purchase. Now be careful because your credit card company might think that there's like a fraudulent situation happening. That's at least what they did to me. They called me and they're like, you've been buying a lot of things on the internet today. Like, are you okay? So just be careful and make sure that you're doing it safely. So now it's saying registering it's just Liz.com. And then you're basically done at that point. So you've officially registered it. And now I went back and I bought another website. So I decided I didn't really like the double Z. So I went back to Google Domains, and I'm just showing you from the beginning again how I got there. And you basically have to go all my domains. So I'm under, it's just Liz with 2z's.com. So I have to get out of there and go back to all my domains and then get a new domain. And so now I've decided that I kind of want the org. I know that .com's taken, and so I just double checked that. Dang. So I'm going to do the .org. Now, the only thing with .orgs is those are generally nonprofits. Not that I'm going to be selling anything, but if I potentially wanted to sell in the future, it might be confusing. But whatever. I mean, Ghost Pro and whatever, they sell all kinds of stuff, and I don't know if they're a nonprofit. I highly doubt that. If they're charging me $108 a year to host my website. So then I go to review purchase. It's going to be around the same amount, so $13.02, which is actually pretty cheap. Like that's a cup of coffee and maybe like a bagel for the year to have a name like in your official like own space on the web. So that's going to register, and then I need to verify my email. So I'm going to do that. And we're like off to the races. We bought our domains, we signed up on Ghost, and now we're just ready to continue our journey to build our website. So I went and I verified my email and finished that off. When you use Ghost Pro, it actually defaults your domain name to something like it's just liz.ghost.com or whatever it may be, or IO or whatever. So what we're going to do next is you have to basically customize your domain. So you already bought the domain separately on Google Domains. So you're going to go back into Ghost Pro. You're going to go down to Ghost Pro. You're going to go from billing. You're going to move to domain here. Once you're in domain, you're going to go down to customize or custom. It did not say activated when I first did this, but I tried to film it. It was just a nightmare because I had no idea what I was doing. I will tell you, I spent like an hour trying to figure this out with a friend. So basically what we're going to do is here was the Ghost one. It was lame. No one wants to see that. So I went to edit. So if you go in here, you type in your domain that you already officially bought somewhere else. And then here is the important parts that I had no idea what I was doing. So it's going to give you these DNS records. So record type. Now I'm going to hide obviously my value because I don't know what it does and I don't want people messing with my website. So basically you're going to take this record type host value stuff. So I'm just going to cover up part of mine so that way nobody can get into it. And then I have the record type host value for the other records. So I'm going to do 2 records. Now they tried to explain this. So if you go, and I'll put a link below into like how to do this for Google and add a custom domain. You go in here and it tells you the details of like how to do this. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go, you have this information, just put that on a split screen. You're going to go into your Google domains. You're going to go into my org one. You're going to go to DNS. You're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to, and I'm covering up certain information because I don't want people to know and mess with my site, but you're basically going to fill in that information here and add it. Now I went ahead and also emailed or gotten on a chat with Google to make sure I did it right because I was very out of my comfort zone. So you're going to put in your name, your type, and then your data here. So you put that in and then bam, you're claimed. So that is how you put it together. You just take your information from Ghost and you put it into Google. It takes a little bit for it to activate. Then you're going to go back into here and then you're going to click activate in order to get this. So that is how you get to it and how you link your domain to your website. And then once you're done with that, it will say something like it's activated. and then you're going to see that you can now have a website. And so when you copy this, and I already have it pasted, but let's just do it for fun. It's just Liz. So perfect, there you have a website. Now there's something to do with CNAMEs and whatever, and I tried to read about it. I think basically mine works for itsjustliz.org, but it also works for www.itsjustliz.org. That's why you have 2 data entries. But I don't think that's like a huge deal. They call it like a subdomain is with the www dot. And I mean, semantics here, okay? Getting a little deep. So this is how you set up your website. Like I said, I'm just using the basic one that they set up for me, like the default, but I will now start playing around with it and seeing what I can do. But I hope this helps you guys on your journey to make your own website, makes this a little more clear, more detailed, show you the things that I struggled with, and you're not alone in struggling to make this website. But I hope this helps, and I will see you guys next time.